Hello guys, this is Bree and my husband Sam on this end. My husband actually reads a lot of these stories about terrible mother-in-laws. Well, lucky for him, he doesn't have a terrible mother-in-law, but I did. Ever heard of a man dishing his own mom? If you haven't, I must tell you that it is possible. Now, some background about my life with Sam. We were high school sweethearts and had the most cliched romance ever. Since it's not a husband story, I will skip that part. I will tell you how his mom, Mila, reacted to me when she met me in college. She asked, "So, dear, what are your plans after college?" "Thanks for asking, Mila. Well, I have a job lined up as soon as I finish my graduation." "Mom, Bree is being shy. She has landed a great job with a very good salary. She would probably earn more than me." "Oh, that's just... Well, I suppose you will need money to build a wedding fund. But how long will you work? Are you leaving your job before or after the wedding?" Mila's question completely threw me off. Yes, I was saving money for our wedding since I was already engaged, but that wasn't the only reason why I was working. I was working because I wanted to stay independent and provide an additional income to our household. I had no idea why Mila assumed that I would just drop my job after marriage. I thought she was joking or something. I laughed nervously and said, I'm not leaving my job, Mila. Even after we're married, I will continue my work." "Oh, no, that won't be happening. No daughter-in-law of mine will ever work after marriage." "What? Mila, what are you talking about?" "You will not continue to work after marrying my son. My son is already a hard-working man who needs a housewife to tend to his needs. A working wife will just ignore him and make him work around the house. That's a woman's job. So this is just unacceptable. I won't allow you to work after you marry Sam." I had no idea from which century Sam's mom had descended. She was asking me to quit my job if I wanted to marry Sam. I was just shocked and didn't know how to react. She wasn't joking or anything. She was dead serious. I didn't know what to say. Thankfully, Sam spoke up for me. He said, "Mom, this is ridiculous. You can't just say things like that to Bree. I wholeheartedly support her in being a working woman. You have no right to dictate what she does with her life." "Of course I have a right, Sam. I'm your mother. I have the right to be concerned about your well-being. Having a working wife will not bring you happiness, Sam." "I am not going to agree with you on that, Mila. A lot of working couples have great work-life balance. I won't be neglecting him like you think." "Don't try to convince me with your stupid logic, Bree. If you don't want to listen to me, I don't want to have a relationship with you. As for you, Sam, you need to come to your senses and end this engagement. Take some lessons from your brother and marry a good girl like Ruby." I didn't know much about Ruby then. I only knew that Mila was fond of her. I got to meet and know about Ruby more after Sam married me. Yes, we got married anyway. Mila did her level best to end my engagement and then my marriage. Yes, she made some terrible lies about me and tried to position my husband against me. She even tried to paint me as some monster wife to family members, but they didn't follow along with her lunacy. They liked me more than Ruby. Sam thought that his mom was delusional and didn't deserve any attention. Still, I tried to impress her and prove to her that I could be a good wife. Big mistake, guys. This woman would not be convinced. Instead, she kept parading Ruby around the family, complimenting her while making fun of me and insulting me. It hurt a lot to see Mila dismiss me because I worked. Sam and I were happy, but she never acknowledged that. For months, I tried to win her affection, but one day, I stopped. I still remember that day like it was tomorrow. We were at a big family gathering and everyone was having a good time. Suddenly, Mila loudly began to say these things. Ruby is truly God sent for my son. She is a real daughter-in-law who doesn't work and takes care of my son. I can't begin to say how much I appreciate Ruby for sticking to her true role as a woman and taking care of the family. Oh, Myla, you are the best mother-in-law ever. You don't know how much I appreciate your words. In this world of modern women, it's truly sad some people don't want to stay at home and take care of their family. It's a shame. Those poor husbands have to fend for themselves. I know, right, Ruby? That is exactly why I love you so much. You are my one true daughter-in-law. At least one of my sons chose well. It was at this moment that I knew I was done with Myla. I didn't yell at her or create a scene. I sat quietly while trying my best to control my tears. Her words hurt. I hated the fact that she hinted at me not caring enough for my husband. I could tell that Sam was furious on my behalf, too. He doesn't like my mother-in-law talking shit about me, and her words today had especially hit a nerve. Sam was pretty mad and said, "What do you even mean, Mom? It's okay that you like Ruby more, but you have no right to insult my wife like that. She takes good care of me, and her work doesn't affect me badly in any way." My dear son, you have no idea how much better your life would be with a stay-at-home wife. I know Bree neglects you because of her work and makes you do household chores. You deserve so much better than that. You are a naive man, Sam. You don't know what you're missing out on. If I were in Bree's place, I would have taken good care of you. A man like you is hard to find. She should watch out because someone better may just swoop in and steal you. I was super angry at what they were saying. Ruby had the guts to try and flirt with my husband even when her husband was sitting right in front of me. I was so angry that I saw red. I said, "Thanks for your concern, Ruby. Let me assure you that no one will be able to steal my husband. Despite what Myla says, I take good care of Sam and we are happy together." "That's right. I'm sure your husband wouldn't like you flirting with me and being in my business, Ruby. You know that the only reason he's with you is because you trapped him with kids." "That is not a very nice thing to say, Sam. You would understand the joys of having a stay-at-home wife if you had one. You don't have to defend a worthless woman like Bree just because she's your wife." Wow, thanks, Myla. I guess not being my husband's slave makes me worthless now. I will keep that in mind. Since I am worthless, I guess you will never need me in your life now, will you? Of course not. I have my true daughter-in-law, Ruby, for that. She's a good woman and can help me in more ways than one. I will always go to her first. I have no use for a stupid woman who neglects my son to work like a man. Mom, I have already told you that I am happy with Bree. You don't get to attack my wife for no reason. Leave it be, Sam. I'm glad she made herself clear in front of everyone. She is entitled to her opinion about me. There's nothing I can do to change it. Myla smirked at me and made some more horrid comments while laughing with my sister-in-law, Ruby. They were having a gala time while the rest of the family was casting me apologetic looks. Sam looked furious, but I kept him from blowing up at his mom. I didn't want to engage with him any further. On that day, it was clear to me that I wanted nothing to do with Myla or Ruby anymore. Myla could worship Ruby for all I care. I wasn't going to be a doormat and suck up to Myla's unnecessary insults. When we came back home, Sam and I had a deep discussion about what happened at the family dinner. He said, "Why did you stop me from defending you? What Mom and Ruby were saying about you is absolutely ridiculous." I know that, Sam. But there is no use wasting our energy on people who won't change. Look, Sam, I know Myla is your mom and all, but I think I will distance myself from her. I tried hard enough to earn her affection, but nothing worked. I won't try anymore. I understand that, Bree. Trust me. I don't want to be around Mom anymore either. I can't go completely no contact with her, but I think I will keep my distance. I hate it when she's unnecessarily mean to you. I know you have my back, Sam, and I want you to promise that if a day ever comes when Mila needs my help, you will let me deal with her my way. Oh, you can do whatever you want unless it's illegal. I promise I won't interfere or give my opinion in any way. Sometimes I really wonder how my husband turned out to be such a sweetheart, even after being born to a witch like my mother-in-law. I knew that I would always have Sam's support. He did want me to have a relationship with Mila, but he wasn't a complete doormat when it came to his mom. He called his mom out when necessary and didn't just tell me to deal with her. I have seen most of your stories about your own mother-in-law and how your husband's defended them no matter what. Thankfully, my husband was different. He didn't give Mila a free pass just because she was his mother. Months passed and Mila's horrible behavior towards me also escalated. She refused to call me at dinners hosted in her house because I wasn't worth inviting. I encouraged my husband to go and visit these dinners, but he rarely did. Then this turned into Mila and Ruby telling everyone that I was a controlling witch who was keeping Sam away from family. It was funny because I never forced Sam to stay at home. He did it out of his own will. We did attend family gatherings at other places because people invited us. Whenever we attended these events, Mila and Ruby would constantly joke about me while ignoring me. It was fine by me because I was ignoring them too. It was a hassle to keep my husband from blowing up at his mom and sister-in-law again. I took all the insults with a straight face because I didn't want them to affect me. I knew that my day would come and I would then be the one to laugh at them. And it didn't take longer than a year for me to see that day. One day, Sam came back from work and told me, "I've been hearing that Mom is in financial trouble again. She hasn't told me yet, but the word is out on the street." Oh my God, she landed herself into debt again? You know her, Bree. She doesn't earn a penny, but spends like she has all the money in the world. But how did you know about this? She approached some relatives for money. She even asked Ruby and my brother for help. Now, listen to this. I have heard that they have shut the door on her face. I don't find that very surprising. Knowing Ruby, she would not spare a cent for anyone other than herself and her kids. That's true, Bree. We have known this all our lives. So much for being the best daughter-in-law, right? Now, I'm telling you this because Mom might soon land on our doorstep too, since she's running out of options. She knows that I'm in debt, so she might approach you. Just consider this a heads up. I was amused, but also very excited. What can I say? I really did want to get revenge against my mother-in-law. She thought I had forgotten her insults. Well, I had not. The moment she would be on my doorstep, I would teach her a nice lesson. I owed her nothing, and I knew that Sam would support me. It was only a matter of waiting. It was a bright and sunny day when Sam and I had a sudden visitor at our house. It was a weekend, so we were both home from work. We were not expecting to hear from anyone, so we were confused about who was knocking at our door. When we opened it, there was a tearful Mila standing on the opposite end. Her state made us invite her inside immediately. What? I am not a complete monster, guys. Mila takes some time to calm down and then says, "I'm so sorry for this surprise visit, guys. It's just that I am in huge trouble." What is it, Mom? Don't tell me you went overspending on your allowance and landed into debt again. I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to do it. I just couldn't help myself with some treats and lost track of my expenses. Oh, God, Mom. How bad is it? It's bad, Sam. I gave the credit card companies everything. Now, I don't even have money to pay rent. I'm getting evicted this month. I tried my best to keep the house, but I couldn't just gather the money. Mila started to cry again while me and Sam looked at each other. We knew why she was at our place. We knew that she wanted money. She wanted it badly. A cousin had told me that Mila had already received her eviction notice. She was truly running out of time. Mila was so desperate for help that she came to her hated daughter-in-law to plead for money. She said, "Sam, I just need a little bit of money to keep the house. I really need help, son. I'll end up being homeless if I don't have the money soon." You know my present situation well enough, Mom. I am still under a lot of debt from student loans, and I had still helped you out enough times. Now I can't do it anymore. I literally don't have any spare money. Well then, Bree, can you help me out? I just need a little money. You get a good salary and don't have any debt. I'm sure it won't affect you. So finally Mila has turned to me for help. She knew well enough that her son wouldn't be able to give her money. Still, she wanted to build up her request time and asked him first. Looks like the useless daughter-in-law was going to be useful after all. But will I help her? She looked at me with a lot of hope. I did pity her a little, but not enough to mince my words. I said, "Well, I do have the money. I do have good savings for situations like this." "Oh my God, thank you so much, Bree. I just need a couple of thousand and I will be good for a month. After that, I'm sure I will figure something out." Now, wait a minute, Mila. When did I say that I would be giving you money? I never said that once. Now, Mila looked pretty shocked and panicked by my answer. She had expected me to be demure daughter-in-law and just give her what she wanted. But now I just crushed her last hope in the blink of an eye. She still tried. She said, "But you said that you have the money. You said you have enough money. You can help me. You have the means to help me." "I do have the means to help you, Mila, but I just won't. I'm not going to give you any money." "What? But why, Bree? I really need help. Trust me. I'm not lying. I don't have more than $50 on me. I took public transport here to save on gas. If you don't help me, what will I do?" "Well, why don't you ask your real daughter-in-law for money? I am sure she would love to help out the best mother-in-law on the planet." Hearing this, Mila went pale and immediately started to cry. Meanwhile, my husband actually broke into a grin and tried hard to fight his laughter. I was too drunk in vengeance to laugh at my comeback. Mila wasn't making things very cheerful either. She started to sob and looked like she would have a panic attack. She said, "Oh, Bree, I was wrong about her. I went to ask my oldest son for help, but Ruby didn't allow him to give me money. She was so rude to me and said that they don't run a charity." "That's so unfortunate for you, Mila. I guess Ruby is not the best daughter-in-law after all. But who knows? I'm just a stupid woman working a job and wanting to live like a man." "Bree, I know that you're mad about what I said in the past, but we can look past that. You know, forgive and forget. We are a family. Let's not have hard feelings anymore." "No can do, Mila. I already tried being friends with you, but you preferred your stay-at-home daughter-in-law over me. I had warned you that I wouldn't help you out even if you needed me. I'm just doing that, Mila." Mila started to loudly cry after I said those words. She finally realized that she had messed up big time. Mila has made a huge mistake by intentionally pushing me away. If she hadn't, she would never have been in this position. I really would have helped her out like I would my own mother. Her crying was getting really annoying. I said, "You can cry all you want, but I am still not giving you anything. If you want to talk about something else, you can do that, but money is off the table." "How can you be so unfeeling, Bree? Holding something over my head that happened a year ago. Sam, why are you silent? Will you let your wife treat me like this?" "You deserve this treatment, Mom. I have seen my wife try to win your affection for years, but you never gave her a chance. You accused her of being a bad person just because she's a working woman. You even tried to convince me to divorce her. You have no right to demand anything from Bree. She is right in her decision of not helping you." "Oh, God, Sam! How could you say that to your own mother?" "Well, you made it damn easy, Mom. I'm done with you. You need to leave. We will not be your cash cow. You can go ask your dear daughter-in-law Ruby instead. We won't help you." After some more arguments and crying, we kicked Mila out of our house. She tried to text other family members and turn them against us. Well, that didn't work at all. Instead, she was bombarded with texts from people berating her for landing in this situation and supporting us in our decision. Mila had no choice but to accept defeat. She did try to call and beg us for money until we blocked her for good. The harassment was just becoming too much to handle. With no money in sight, Mila had to move out of her renter house and rent a trailer. She expected people to show pity, but no one did. Who would help a spendthrift with no means to pay back any money? Well, no one, of course. The woman who was so vocal about being a stay-at-home was forced to be a working woman now. Since she had zero work experience, she had to take a minimum wage job. No, it wasn't some fancy job. It was babysitting kids in a daycare. She didn't earn much, though, because she wasn't a teacher or even much experienced. I guess the daycare hired her so that they would be able to pay less money. She is still working there while living in a trailer. Not the best look for a home princess, is it? Don't worry, guys. Ruby now has a share of her own problems, too. My brother-in-law has had enough of her overspending and is divorcing her. He didn't want to end up with a woman like his mother after all, so he pulled the trigger on their marriage before Ruby could land them in a significant amount of debt. They are now having a dirty court battle and Ruby is losing. She apparently had a string of affairs and was being abusive to their kids. That's a whole mess in itself. We are staying away from that drama for our own good. I guess God really did deliver karma well to everyone. Meanwhile, this horrible working woman, aka me, is doing just fine. Sam and I are relaxing and enjoying the peace and quiet now that the two disturbing elements in our life are away with their drama.